Good afternoon, Fin fans, and welcome back to another episode of atphinsnews. So, in this episode, we're going to start a new series. I did talk to you guys about it in my previous stream. Just because it is dead season right now for the Miami Dolphins, the rookies don't report to training camp for about 3 weeks, and then the veterans report in about 4 weeks. So, we got a little time on our hands here. So, what we are going to do is we're going to break the schedule down into four quarters pretty much, just kind of like the coaches and staff do whenever they first get the schedule, just to see where their tough matchups are going to be or how they're going to handle travel and this and that. So that's what we're going to do. So for the first part of the series, we're going to do weeks 1 through 4, and we've all talked about the first 4 weeks being a daunting task for the young Miami Dolphins, especially with the rookie head coach and not really knowing how he's going to adjust to play calling and adjustments at halftime and the type of coaches he's facing in the early weeks. So without further ado, guys, let's just get right into it, shall we? So we got week 1, September 11th. We all know it's a big game. It's against the New England Patriots. It is at home, so we have an advantage there with the humidity and the sunlight playing to the Miami Dolphins' advantage. The Miami Dolphins usually play New England pretty well. Even when Miami wasn't that good, we used to always at least split with them when Tom Brady was there. So I mean, I don't think this is gonna be an easy matchup at all, guys. I know I've seen on Twitter and social media a lot that this game's gonna be easy for the Miami Dolphins with the type of talent Miami has brought in to the organization and how New England pretty much stayed the same for the most part. Um, a lot of people don't see how the Miami Dolphins don't come out on top on this one, but I will be the first one to tell you guys the reason why I am nervous about this game is because Bill Belichick facing a rookie head coach. He has the one of the best records against rookie head coaches in this league. That and rookie quarterbacks. We don't have a rookie quarterback right now, but he's good against rookie head coaches and rookie quarterbacks for whatever reason because he knows how to game plan for them. He knows what their weaknesses are. He tries to make you beat him doing something that you're the worst at, and that's what I believe he's gonna make Mike McDaniel do. I think that defense is going to get after our offense, knowing that it is the first week of the season. One thing playing in our advantage, I would say, is that not a lot of coaches have a lot of film on what Mike McDaniel's trying to do. I know that everyone's going to say you just got to look at the 49ers offense. He's not going to bring just the 49ers offense to this team. I think there's going to be wrinkles in there. There's not going to be any film on him, so that's going to play to the Miami Dolphins' advantage. I believe even though the New England Patriots defense is really good, really well coached, well prepared for every game, I think our defense is just a little better. Okay, I think that even though the New England Patriots going to be able to get after the quarterback and cause havoc for Tua at times in the backfield, we're going to be able to do the same thing to Mac Jones. And Mac Jones is going into a second year. He's not a proven veteran. We're going to make him have a mistake or two. And I'm not saying it's going to be a blowout. I think at halftime we're either going to be tied or maybe even down by a field goal, guys. But I do believe at the end of the day, Mike McDaniel's going to make enough adjustments. Tua's going to make enough plays. For whatever reason, he loves playing the New England Patriots. He has a really good record against them. I believe he is 3-1 now in his 4 games against them. So I think he continues that stretch. I think, in my opinion, the way the AFC is so loaded, week 1 is a must win for the Miami Dolphins, even though it is only week 1. But just no one in the AFC can afford to start off slow this year, and especially the Dolphins, knowing how slow they started the previous 2 seasons. So I think they come out with a 24-17 victory. I think they make enough plays. Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle kind of go off in the second half. They get kind of contained in the first half, but they're just too talented of receivers to not get going in the second half, especially when you have both of them at that type of speed. They're only going to be able to cover so many guys at once, and then Mike Gesicki down the seam. I mean, I think we just have too many weapons for the Patriots defense at the end of the day. And I think our defense makes enough plays against Mac Jones and Devontae Parker and Hunter Henry and the rest of their offensive cast to pulled out a 24-17 victory. So we're all riding high. We're 1-0 just like last year before the wheels kind of fell off when we went on that big losing streak. But we were 1-0 after week 1, and that's how we're going to start this year. And then week 2, guys, this is a really tough matchup on the road against the Ravens. It's going to be a payback game for the Ravens. We beat them on prime time last year on Thursday Night Football. But you guys got to remember, I know Lamar Jackson was playing last year, but they had a slew of injuries on the defensive side of the ball. Both of their corners were out. They had a safety out. Their defensive line, 2 of them were out. They lost their running backs before the season even started. They're going to be fully healthy or close to it in week 2 of the season. It's a revenge game for Lamar Jackson. He's not going to want to be looking that bad for a second time against his hometown team in Miami. I just think the Baltimore Ravens, their physicality. Besides last year, guys, if you guys didn't know, the Baltimore Ravens have owned the Miami Dolphins in recent memory. In the last decade or so, we could not beat them because of their physicality. I think it's going to be a close game. I think the corners for Baltimore are going to get up on our receivers and try to press them. I know it's going to be a boomer bust. We're going to make big plays in this game because of their mentality on the defensive side of the ball. I think Tua's going to have maybe one big throw in this game, like a big touchdown, 60, 70 yards, to Tyreek Hill or Jalen Waddle, one of the two, just because they're going to get off their man-to-man press coverage. And whenever they're in zone, there could be a zone. Their zone could fall apart, just like sometimes there's miscommunication on the zone. That's really why I'm not a big fan of zone, because sometimes there's miscommunication and it leaves a huge void in the defense, and it can lead to big plays. I think the Dolphins will have 1 or 2 of those in this game, just because of the pressure the Baltimore Ravens put on you on the defensive side of the ball. But I just think with J.K. Dobbins coming back and their running game going to be fully healthy at this time, Lamar Jackson maybe getting off for 1 or 2 big runs, they're going to be able to control the clock for the most part, and it's going to be hard for our offense to sustain offense in this game. And I feel that it's going to be a 2017 loss. I know it's going to be a hard-fought game, guys. It could go either way. But I just think Baltimore Ravens are going to come ready to play. You got John Harbaugh as the head coach, not wanting to lose 2 straight games to the Miami Dolphins. Again, a young rookie head coach, only in his second week, really not having everything figured out on his coaching job. And then the offense being new in the offensive system, they might struggle a little bit. So that's why I see them losing to the Ravens. So the record is 1-1 at the moment. And then we're playing at home against the Buffalo Bills. And I want to just say this is going to be a win. I think the Dolphins are going to have to split with the Bills at some point just to give Miami confidence that they can hang with this team, right? But I just can't lead myself to do it as of right now, just because until Miami Dolphins beat the Bills, I'm going to just count it as a loss right now. It's going to be an early in the year game. Both teams should be relatively healthy. The Dolphins just coming off a tough, hard-fought matchup against the Ravens and the previous week to the Patriots. I just think they're going to be a little mentally worn down. It's going to be a big game against the Bills where they're going to try to get up for. I think they're going to be able to compete in this game at home. It's going to give us a lot of confidence going into the next game against Buffalo, because we're going to hold our own. It's not going to be one of those blowouts that we've seen the last couple times these two teams have played. I think it's going to come down to the wire, maybe to a field goal. I see the Miami Dolphins losing this game, unfortunately, 27-24. I just think, until the Miami Dolphins coaching staff can prove that they can beat Josh Allen and his running ability, the last 2 games we've played Josh Allen, if you look at it, we've actually held our own against him. He's had bad games against us for the most part as far as completion percentage, throwing the ball yardage. He hasn't really like blowing us out. The only game the Bills scored a lot of points was when Fitzpatrick started the first time we played him a couple years ago, when the game was like 44-41. We lost by a field goal at the end or a touchdown. That was the only time in the recent memory where Josh Allen's went off on us. The last couple times after that, we've pretty much held him in check for the most part until like the end of the third quarter, start of the fourth quarter, and the defense kind of just loses its edge because the offense isn't really putting sustained drives together. So it wears them down, obviously. So I think this game's going to be a back and forth game. We're going to have the lead at some point, and it's going to go back and forth. And I just think they're going to be too much, and they get a late field goal to kind of shock us, and we lose 27-24. But as a fan base, we should be feeling confident how Tua's hitting Tyreek, how he's hitting Waddle, how he's mixing in Gesicki, how our running game is looking, and our line at this point isn't doing too bad, in my opinion. So it's giving us confidence moving forward into the season and into the later, when we have another tough stretch of games later in the year. This first 4 games is gonna help us get through the pretty much last 5 games of the season, right? So I know it's gonna be a tough pill to swallow for Miami Dolphin fans, but in the first 3 weeks we're gonna be 1-2, and then we have a huge Thursday night football matchup on the road against the Bengals. Super Bowl, could have been Super Bowl champs last year, but lost in the Super Bowl, but did represent the AFC. It's going to be a big game for Tua. Joe Burrow got drafted ahead of him. We all know the comparison. Joe Burrow has been more successful in the pros, obviously, and some could say in college, but he really only had 1 year. Tua pretty much was the best quarterback people thought coming out of college from Alabama before his injuries. So I just think this matchup, our defense is going to be able to put a lot of pressure on Joe Burrow. They're going to be able to confuse him with their zero blitz packages. They're going to get up on Jamar Chase. He's going to have a couple big catches, but Xavier Howard and Byron Jones are going to tag team on Jamar Chase. T. Higgins, we can take him out of the game like we did the previous year before Joe Burrow got there. We're going to be able to, I think, stop Joe Mixon. Our defense is going to just cause havoc for the Bengals, and this is going to be a prove-it game. We have to go into this game thinking we cannot start the season 1-3. We have to get a win to split the first 4 games of the season. That's what's going to be Mike McDaniel mentality. That's what's going to be the Miami Dolphins mentality going into this game. The defense is going to play with an attitude. The offense is going to play with aggression that we haven't seen in the first 3 weeks. They're going to come out knowing they need this win. Tua is going to have, I think, his best game of the year thus far against the Bengals, trying to prove a point against Joe Burrow that he's here. He's not going to want to get embarrassed on Thursday Night Football. And I expect a huge, it is going to be an upset. I know as Dolphin fans, we don't want to think that, but it is going to be an upset. The Dolphins are going to beat the Bengals. I'm going to go 28-21 by a touchdown, giving the upset. So for the first 4 weeks of the season, you're looking at a 2-2 start. I know it's not ideal, so we got to win here. We lose back-to-back weeks, right? In a tough loss against the Bills, but give them confidence. And then we get that huge victory on Thursday Night Football against the Bengals. And that's what I forecast seeing in the first 4 weeks. I know it's not perfect. We would love to be 3-1 or even 4-0. But I just think it's not going to be realistic. I think 2-2 is a great start for a Mike McDaniel team. And then we head into in our next stream, we're going to head into weeks 5 through 8. And we'll see. It gets kind of easier, and we might be able to make a run at this thing right here. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first series to our stream, guys. Weeks 1 through 4, the Miami Dolphins thus far are 2-2, and we're looking forward to the Jets in week 5. That stream will be on either Monday or Tuesday. We'll hit you with the second part of the series. Okay, guys? I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Please hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel. But other than that, guys, fins up, and I'm out. Peace.